Hi guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of, is it harder or easier to be successful in our modern day society? Well, if you really think about it, and really, of course, you need to also think about the fact of what is success. Well, I'm looking at success, at least for this video, on the point of view of financially or business wise, or the fact that you're able to basically travel through and successfully do everything you want to do within our modern day society. So this point of view is not exactly of just success. It's just more of the business-like success, just to be clear. But I think that obviously if you look at our modern day society compared relatively to whatever it was in the past, well, think about it. We have the internet. We have planes. We have, even again through the internet, we're able to have much easier communication, because yes, before we did have phones, and I'm not talking about 200 years ago, but I'm saying like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, we had phones, but it was very, very expensive to make international calls and stuff like that. But nowadays, and again, converging and mixing the fact that there is phones and there's also the internet, we're able to make extremely cheap phone calls, or actually pretty much free phone calls, as long as we have internet connections somehow. And these are able to be found everywhere. So I really positively believe actually that it's extremely more simple nowadays to actually create wealth than it was in the old times. In the old times, it would have to be relying on farming, or even relying on such things such as marriage. That's why marriage became such a customary thing in our everyday society. Well, the thing is that basically by creating bonds between one family and the other, they created a lifelong bond that would entrust and make sure that the person that they were binding themselves with would prosper financially. So that's why it became such an important thing in our society. Otherwise, before, we didn't have all these monogamous ways of thinking. Life was very, very different. We were always nomads and just going away. And actually, you can actually see it in the old tribe. Well, and actually some tribes that are even nowadays and stuff like that, where the kid is not the kid of one person, it's the kid of the tribe, and everybody kind of takes care of each other. So the males, the women, they don't really have wives. Everybody kind of belongs to each other, and I think that's how the nature of mankind used to be before. But now, through the way that our society has constructed things, we have this whole marriage thing. And going back to the success of being in a modern day society, obviously, again, internet, the fact that there's the advent of technologies such as computers that has become such an important part of business, being able to calculate things faster, being able to have AI, artificial intelligence, robots that are little by little being able to take over jobs that are actually kind of monotonous and simple. And just those facts makes it much easier to actually be able to create stuff, do things properly in this society. At the same time, we also do have less jobs. But I'm thinking about, and the less jobs are basically because there's going to be a lot of it taken into AI. But successfully being able to be successful, again, it really depends on what your definition of success is. If it's having a Ferrari or having a Lamborghini, or is it being successful within the society where you can survive and pay your bills. But obviously, again, going to extremes, if you're trying to be a multi-billionaire, well, that's one thing. So if that's what your success is, well, good luck, just because it's tough. Now, if you just want to be somebody who owns a place, owns a house, and is actually able to still have a lot of beautiful experiences, be able to pay classes, be able to go to places, be able to travel and stuff like that, then that's very feasible. It's just that you need to you need to think about these things, and you need to be able to take them into consideration in such a way that finally you're able to actually garner yourself and be able to actually easily easily do money from your house through whatever is done through computers, through whatever is done through intermediaries. You don't have to do manual labor like you were in the past. And if you are good, on the other hand, at doing this manual labor, such as plumbing and electricity and all these things, then that's even better for you, because actually these jobs are jobs that don't disappear and that don't seem to be overtaken by robots. Because it still requires a bit of intelligence, and the intelligence of the robots hasn't gotten to that point. I'm not saying that it won't happen at some point, probably faster than we think, but at least in today's day and age, those manual labor jobs actually are a very easy way to create wealth. But if you're not into the manual labor jobs, you can do a lot of jobs just from your house and through computers and all that stuff. So I think that we don't have to kill ourselves. And also, as a last note, the fact that in olden times, dying at 30 or dying in your 20s was a normal thing. Nowadays, people live in their 70s, 80s, and all these things. So no matter what the GMOs are doing to our foods, the preservatives in our foods, and the bad quality of our food and stuff like that, well, guess what? You're still getting better quality in some way than all the stuff that was before, because you're living longer. You have better medicine. You have better care of yourself and stuff like that. So that's it. That's all I have to say on the subject. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.